I remember while growing up, my parents had our time. You know, they would check our books, check our bags, ensure that we didn't bring anybody's things home or any toy, anybody's food or any other thing. You know how children used to play now. Give me your thing, take this one, take my toy. So they ensured that, in fact, they knew all our friends, as little as small as our circle was then. So I would like to ask my guest here now, when you talk of having time for children, I'm speaking from my own childhood experience, how my parents had that time, but I'm sure things have changed now. So I'll be asking Mrs. Koiki here, what can you say, or in what areas or in what ways can you say parents should have time for their children? Should they supervise their homeworks and all that, or leave it completely for the teachers in school? Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Oluwatobi Adeboyeku, also known as Tobi Bonike. On this channel, I bring you topics on faith, lifestyle, business, and any other thing that is interesting. So today I'm here with my guest. She's going to be speaking on some interesting aspects of parenting. You know, she's experienced in that field, so that's why I brought her here. So without further ado, let me introduce her to you. She is a multi-talented, hardworking mother of 2 children, and she's no other person than Mrs. Olaide Titilope Koiki.
Thanks for having me here.
Okay, thank you for gracing my space. So today she's going to be speaking a lot on, or briefly, let me say briefly, she's going to be speaking briefly on some interesting aspects of parenting. But for this video, we'll just be speaking on 2. She'll be highlighting 2 aspects, which are the child's self-esteem and areas in having time for children. So let's get started.
Thank
you. Mrs. Koiki, when we are talking of child or children's self-esteem, what can you say about it? How can parents boost their child's self-esteem, and how can they also bring it down?
Thank you. By boosting it is when you encourage them. By bringing it down is when you try to shun them anytime they want to express themselves.
Okay. So you know that you hear that some parents just shout at their children, they don't encourage them, they do good things, they don't praise them. So are those ways in which the children's self-esteem can be
Definitely
shattered?
Yes, it can be. It can bring the children's self-esteem down. Okay. By shouting at them all the time, by not allowing them to express themselves. Yeah.
Okay, so from your own experience, how do you boost your own children's self-esteem?
I try to encourage them anytime they want to talk, even if what they are trying to say doesn't make sense. I try to listen. I try to encourage them.
Okay,
so that's it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So on the second point, which is having time for children, I remember while growing up, my parents had our time. You know, they would check our books, check our bags, ensure that we didn't bring anybody's things home or any toy, anybody's food or any other thing. You know how children used to play now. Give me your thing, take this one, take my toy. So they ensured that, in fact, they knew all our friends, as little as small as our circle was then. So I would like to ask my guest here now, when you talk of having time for children, I'm speaking from my own childhood experience, how my parents had that time, but I'm sure things have changed now. So I'll be asking Mrs. Koiki here, what can you say, or in what areas or in what ways can you say parents should have time for their children? Should they supervise their homeworks and all that, or leave it completely for the teachers in school?
Thank you. We should not leave their works for their teachers alone to say. We too, we should always supervise them. Anytime they come back from school, we ask them, what did you do in school today? Can I have your bag? You check their bag. While checking, definitely there will be homework in the bag. So once you see the homework, you sit them down and ask them to come and go through, you try and go through their homework with them. So by that, you are having impact in their life. But while you are leaving everything to teachers to do, so you know some teachers they get tired, so they will be like, oh, don't disturb me today. So they will not really put in their effort like that. But as a parent, you know you pay the fee and you know the work you do to get the fee done. So definitely you need to put in effort to encourage the children.
Wow.
So, and Nigeria of nowadays don't really permit us to do so, but out of no time you should create time to check their bags.
Wow. Trust me, you are hearing from the horse's mouth, because I usually see how she supervises her children's homework. I bring your assignments, let us do this together and let us do that, and you know, it's a good one.
Thank you.
Now, in honor having time for children, still from my own childhood experience, now I can remember our parents used to take us out, you know, in the little way they could, you know, and the time they could create for us. They would take us out, you know, walk. It could be walks around in the evenings, it could be driving around and all that. So apart from school work now, in what other way can you say you have time to spend with children?
Well, the only time we have, myself, the only time I have with them is weekends. During the weeks I have time, but the time is not as weekends, you know. During the week I have to go to work Monday to Friday. Is when I come, I make around 5. So it's then that I have, it's from 5 o'clock till 8 before they go to bed. I only have little time but weekends I have full time for them. Yes, at least I try to call them to myself. Even they will even come, mommy, can we do some game? Can we do tente? Can we do suwe? Things like that they were taught in school. I try to encourage them, to bring them to myself in order to play with them.
Wow, that's very good. So that's just what we'll be taking for this part of the video. I told you we are going to be taking 2 points in this part. That's the first one, child self-esteem. She talked about how to boost your child's self-esteem and how parents can also, you know, unknowingly shatter their children's self-esteem. And the second point she just made now is having time for children through their schoolwork, not leaving it for their teachers, and also I think having fun times with them. So thank you very much, Mrs. Koiki, for gracing my space today.
Thank you for having me there.
Yes, so
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, my viewers,
you
for taking time to listen to these parents. You've heard some tips from her, I guess. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I will be coming your way again next time. You will still see her in the second part of the video. In the second part of the video, we are going to be talking on discipline and listening, communication. She's going to be opening us more on discipline and communication with children. So you don't want to miss that. So thank you and stay tuned for the next part. Bye-bye.